Howdy, it's Jim Murato, and this is very late June 2023. We're in Adams, Tennessee, home of the Bell Witch, and I'll put up some other videos about this trip. But I wanted to put up one, just kind of a brief one, and cover a couple of things going on at the schoolhouse here in Adams, Tennessee. They've got Moss's Restaurant. And I have, every time I've been to Adams, I have stopped here, and this place is great, like freakishly great. There's the menu that we were looking at on this particular day. I was here with a buddy. We both had fish and some sides, and we had pie, and this was just a great little place to get a meal. If you're in Adams, doing your legend tripping and exploring Bell Witch Cave stuff, you've got to have lunch here. This it's in the old cafeteria in the old school. That was my buddy. He had onion rings and fries and fish, and I had green beans and slaw and fish. It was so good. I told my friend this is one of the best restaurants I've ever eaten at. If you're doing the kind of country cooking kind of thing, oh man, they gave us hush puppies too. This place is just great. Always super friendly staff, and just had some great meals here. Oh, and we had pecan pie, and it was incredible. They warmed it up and all that good stuff. Came here for the first time probably 10 years ago. In fact, I found a couple of old pictures. I'll add them into this little presentation here. Yeah, that was a meal I had probably, 10 years ago, and it was so good. I've just had some good stuff here. This place is just great. You can see the locals enjoy it, and it's something special, and it's a must-do when you're in Adams. I would go out of my way just to have a meal here, and it's just great, and I can't say enough about it. And it's kind of in the old, like I said, the old cafeteria of the schoolhouse. Oh yeah, that was that a fried Oreo? I almost didn't get that, but then I did, and that's one of the best desserts I've ever had. Again, several years ago. Anyway, yeah, but that's in the bottom part of the old schoolhouse, and they've got kind of a public building in the rest of the school. Some displays on local stuff. You've got this old soda fountain thing here in the back. And then you have their little local community museum there towards the right. And they do, I guess, again, it's a public building. Kind of, I guess, almost like a local visitor center. If you're going to be in Adams, you've got to stop here. This framed tobacco leaf, I thought that was kind of cool. I know I grew up working in tobacco, and it would be great to have one of my dad's old tobacco leaves framed. It's kind of neat that they thought of that. And they've got this museum. It's a small little one-room thing ran by a fella named Tim Henson, and he's kind of the local historian and kind of keeper of the legends. You want to know about the Bell Witch, you want to know about the Tobacco Wars, the Night Riders, any local stuff, he knows about it. And this was probably my fourth time stopping and chatting with him, and he is just a wealth of knowledge. If you see any documentary on the Bell Witch, I would say there's a pretty good chance that he is somewhere in that documentary. And he's written a book on the genealogy of the Bell family. I know the first time I met him, again, probably 10 or more years ago, he had even made some postcards of pictures he had taken in Adams, and I bought some of his postcards. But he's got a great display. He's got all the books written about the Bell Witch legend, and lots of relics from the area, including Civil War stuff, arrowheads, and he can just tell you anything. On this particular visit, I bought a book from him called On Bended Knee, about the Night Riders, the Tobacco Wars in the very early 1900s in this area, and I'm reading that now, and it is a very good book, and I'm glad I let him talk me into buying it. He shows a little video. I think it was produced maybe by KET, and it's just a little documentary on the Bell Witch. You can sit there and watch it. I think he sells copies on DVD, but it's a good movie. And he is just again, if you're doing your legend trip down to Adams, you have to stop and talk to Tim. He knows everything. And to the side of the school, there's some old buildings from the city's past that they've kind of preserved and restored, and you can check those out. And one of them has a very strong connection to the Bell Witch and the old John Bell property, which the school, I believe, is basically right on the old John Bell property. So you're going to want to stop here anyway. I'll put up another sort of video on the Bell Witch Cave. I love the Bell Witch Cave. I've been to it many times now. They do not allow video cameras and that kind of thing in the cave, but I took a lot of pictures and I thought I could put together kind of a slideshow. Oh yeah, Bill Cunningham, On Bended Knee. That's the book I bought. Incredible book, very well written, informative. And like I said, when I was a kid, I worked in tobacco. My dad raised it, and it was just kind of fun reading about the Duke family and tobacco farmers wanting to get more money for their tobacco. Reminded me a little bit of Breaking Bad, in that the good guy at the beginning of the story might not be the good guy at the end. So, for what that's worth, that Bill Cunningham is a great writer. He sure knows his history. Just an impressive book. Yeah, and keep looking around at Tim's museum here. You can see how stocked it is. It's small, but there's a whole lot to see. And I did kind of a quick once around with my camera to give you an idea of what all is here. But the Bell Witch Cave, ran by a little family. Now, I want to say since the 90s, maybe the early 90s, the same family has ran it, and they do a good job over there. But yeah, they don't allow video, so I took a lot of pictures, and just glad to get to see the cave again, and glad to be in Adams. And like I said, Adams is well known for being the home and kind of ground zero for the Bell Witch legend, which, if you read up on it, it's a very complicated, supernatural kind of ghosty event that happened here, and really not much was said or written about it until sometime after the family all died out. And it's just a crazy rabbit hole to go down. This spirit, I guess you would say, tormented a family, and is even credited with killing the father. And there's a few really good books written on it. So, by the way, here's some older photos that I took, again, from about a decade ago. The schoolhouse used to have an antique mall upstairs, and Tim's museum was in a slightly different location. So I threw in a few of those pictures. Also, here are some pictures from inside some of the historic buildings there beside the schoolhouse. Again, they do a great job of preserving and caring about their history, and just having a sense of history, I guess. They do have a fall festival where they do a play about the Bell Witch, and they also do a play about the Night Riders and the Tobacco Wars. And I have not been to that, but I might have to make that a point to do that this year. Anyway, what do you think about Adams, Tennessee? Let me know. Have you been to the schoolhouse or Moss's restaurant? Love this area, love those places.